So college football starts tomorrow, and I figured it's not technically too late to quickly preview and wrongly predict college football in 2023. So here's a video of me predicting college football in 2023.
Boom, bam, bop.
Starting off with the top 25, the teams consist of 6 SEC teams: Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. 5 Big Ten teams: Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. 5 Pac-12 teams: USC, Washington, Utah, Oregon, Oregon State. 4 Big 12 teams: Texas, Kansas State, TCU, and Oklahoma. 3 ACC teams: Florida State, Clemson, and North Carolina. 1 American Athletic team, Tulane, and 1 independent team, Notre Dame. Conference realignment for 2023 includes the Big 12 adding in BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, the American adding in UTSA, North Texas, Rice, UAB, FAU, and Charlotte, and the Conference USA adding in Liberty, New Mexico State, and 2 FCS additions, Sam Houston and Jacksonville State. Now on to our record and conference predictions for 2023. Starting off in the American Athletic, we have Tulane at 10-2, UTSA 9-3, Memphis 9-3, East Carolina 7-5, North Texas 7-5, SMU 6-6, UAB also 6-6, FAU and Tulsa at 5-7, Navy, Temple, Charlotte, and Rice at 4-8, and USF at 3-9. The conference title game will feature a rematch between Tulane and UTSA, with UTSA getting revenge. Moving on to the ACC now, we have Florida State and Clemson at 11-1, North Carolina at 10-2, Miami at 9-3, Pitt, Louisville, Duke, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, and NC State all at 7-5, Boston College at 5-7, Wake Forest at 4-8, Georgia Tech at 3-9, and Virginia at 2-10. The conference title game will be between Florida State and Clemson, where Clemson will get the better of Florida State this time and take the ACC title. Now moving on to the Big 12, we have Texas and Oklahoma at 10-2, Kansas State 9-3, 8-4 records for Baylor, Texas Tech, TCU, and Kansas. UCF, Houston, and Oklahoma State all going 6-6. West Virginia, Iowa State going 5-7, and BYU and Cincinnati going 4-8. The Big 12 title game will be between Oklahoma and Texas, where Texas won the first battle, and they will also win the conference title over Oklahoma as well. Now to the Big Ten. In the Big Ten East Division, we have Michigan at 11-1, Penn State at 10-2, Ohio State 9-3, Maryland 7-5, Michigan State 6-6, Rutgers 5-7, Indiana 3-9. For the West Division, Wisconsin will go 11-1, Iowa 9-3, Minnesota 8-4, Nebraska 6-6, Illinois 5-7, Purdue 3-9, and Northwestern 2-10. The Big Ten title game will be between Michigan and Wisconsin, where Michigan will be victorious. The Conference USA this year will have Western Kentucky and Liberty at 10-2, Middle Tennessee at 7-5, Louisiana Tech at 5-7, New Mexico State at 6-7, FIU, UTEP at 4-8, Jacksonville State 3-9, and Sam Houston at 2-10. The conference title game between Western Kentucky and Liberty, where Western Kentucky will beat Liberty. The independents include Notre Dame at 10-2, Army 8-4, UConn 5-7, and UMass at 1-11. Now on to the MAC conference. In the East Division, Buffalo and Ohio will be 8-4, Miami, Ohio 5-7, Bowling Green, Akron, and Kent State all 4-8, Toledo at 10-2, Eastern Michigan 8-4, Western Michigan 7-5, Northern Illinois 6-6, Ball State at 3-9, and Central Michigan at 1-11. The MAC title game will be between Toledo and Buffalo, where Toledo will win. Now on to the Mountain West Conference. San Diego State will finish 10-2, Boise State 9-3, San Jose State 6-6, Air Force 8-4, Fresno State, Nevada at 7-5, UNLV at 6-6, Wyoming and Utah State at 5-7, Hawaii at 4-9, Colorado State and New Mexico at the bottom at 2-10. San Diego State and Boise State will be in the Mountain West title game, where Boise State will get their revenge on San Diego State. The Pac-12 this year, I see, will have USC at 11-1, Washington at 10-2, Utah at 10-2, and Oregon also 10-2. Washington State, Oregon State, and UCLA will all finish 8-4. Arizona 6-6. Colorado at 4-8, and then Stanford, Cal, and Arizona State all at 3-9. Pac-12 title game will have USC victorious over Washington. The SEC this year will include the East Division with Georgia at 12-0, Tennessee at 9-3, South Carolina 7-5, along with Vanderbilt at 7-5, Kentucky at 6-6, Florida 5-7, Missouri 2-10. The West Division will have Alabama and LSU finish 10-2, Arkansas at 9-3, A&M and Ole Miss at 8-4, Auburn and Mississippi State at 6-6. The SEC title game will be between Georgia and Alabama, where Georgia will beat Bama. And finally, the Sun Belt Conference will feature in the first division Coastal Carolina at 9-3, James Madison 9-3, and Appalachian State 9-3, Georgia Southern at 7-5, Marshall 5-7, Old Dominion 2-10, Georgia State 1-11. In the second division, South Alabama will finish 9-3, along with Troy. Southern Miss and UL Lafayette will finish 7-5. Arkansas State at 5-7. Texas State at 2-10, and UL Monroe at 1-11. The conference title game will be between Coastal Carolina and South Alabama, where Coastal Carolina will come out on top. For my 2023 bowl season projections, I got North Texas and Northern Illinois in the Bahamas Bowl, South Alabama and UNLV in the Cure Bowl, NC State and Oklahoma State in the Fenway Bowl, Arizona, San Jose State in the New Mexico Bowl, UCLA, Boise State in the LA Bowl, UL Lafayette and Middle Tennessee in the Lending Tree Bowl, Ole Miss and Washington State in the Las Vegas Bowl, San Diego State and UAB in the Frisco Bowl, East Carolina and Georgia Southern in the Beach Bowl, Fresno State and Western Michigan in the Potato Bowl, Troy and Buffalo in the Boca Raton Bowl, Coastal Carolina and Liberty in the New Orleans Bowl, App State and Houston in the Armed Forces Bowl, South Carolina, Virginia Tech in the Independence Bowl, Tulane, Mississippi State in the Gasparilla Bowl, Nevada, Southern Miss in the Hawaii Bowl, Toledo, Western Kentucky in the Quick Lane Bowl, Ohio, James Madison in the Camiella Bowl, SMU and UCF in the First Responder Bowl, Memphis and Kentucky in the Birmingham Bowl, Texas Tech and Maryland in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Syracuse and Army in the Military Bowl, Baylor and Auburn in the Liberty Bowl, Miami, Utah in the Holiday Bowl, TCU, Vanderbilt in the Texas Bowl, Nebraska, Pitt in the Pinstripe Bowl, North Carolina, Kansas in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Oregon, Kansas State in the Alamo Bowl, Duke, Michigan State in the Mayo Bowl, Oregon State, Louisville in the Sun Bowl, Texas A&M and Minnesota in the Gator Bowl, Air Force and Eastern Michigan in the Arizona Bowl, Arkansas and Iowa in the Music City Bowl, Tennessee and Ohio State in the ReliQuest Bowl, Penn State and Alabama in the Citrus Bowl, LSU and Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl, Oklahoma and Washington in the Fiesta Bowl, Florida State, Wisconsin in the Peach Bowl, UTSA and Texas in the Cotton Bowl. And the Rose Bowl semifinal will be between USC and Georgia, and the Sugar Bowl semifinal will be between Michigan and Clemson. The national championship prediction will be Michigan against Georgia, where Georgia will win victorious for the third straight year. And that pretty much wraps it up. Leave your comments below on what your predictions will be for this year in 2023 for college football. Make sure to like and subscribe as well, and thanks for watching the video.